Hi, I'm Apurba,
And I'm Rich.
and we're here in the Adesto's offices today to talk about Adesto's communication technology called Free Topology, or FT for short. We're going to do some demonstrations of some applications we've put together for you using the popular clipboard format. But before we get there, we want to talk a little bit about what FT is and why it's so useful. You're probably familiar with wireless protocols like Bluetooth and Wi-Fi that are used to connect consumer devices like your laptop to your mouse or your iPhone to your headset. But in industrial settings where two devices are far away from each other and there are a lot of sources for interference, wireless is just not an option. In industrial equipment such as commercial elevators or HVAC systems or factory robotics, the way to connect those two devices are through using wires. This is where FT really shines. It is the most reliable, scalable, and easy to install wired communication technology there is.
FT is a wired communication technology that uses only two wires. That makes it very simple to install. You can install the wires in either way, so it's polarity insensitive. So there's no way to hook up the endpoint incorrectly. It is highly noise immune, so if there's noise sources in the back, it continues to work. It's fault tolerant, so if there's a break somewhere in the wires, things can continue to work. And the topology is completely up to the installer. You can install things as a ring, as a bus, as a star. You can combine those together, so there's no way to wire it incorrectly. FT just works. I invite you to learn more about FT at adestotech.com.
Now back to the clipboards. We're going to demonstrate the FT technology for you today using a clipboard that has Adesto's FT6050 smart transceiver. You can get your hands on one through the Microelectronica website. The nice thing about clipboards is it's supported by a wide range of development ecosystems. Ecosystems like Raspberry Pi, Arduino, and STMicro's Nucleo board. The other nice thing about clipboards is it comes with a wide range of sensors and actuators that you can also buy through Microelectronica's website to prototype applications using off-the-shelf components within minutes.
Okay, let's start with a simple application of a push button talking to an LED on a separate board. I'll create both boards using the STMicro Nucleo board. So I'll add an adapter, which adapts from the Arduino connectors to microbus. I'll add an FT click, which plugs into the microbus connector, and I'll add a simple button clipboard to get my push button input. Now I have my complete device. Let's look at what it takes to get an application into this. And now I'll start the STM32Cube IDE, which is a popular development environment for this development board. And I've written a simple application to monitor this button on the board that I've just added and send the data from that button onto the FT network. It really takes one line of code to do that. So I have a send message to send a topic that says what this message is and a value. In this case, I'm going to send 1 when the button gets pressed. Okay, so I've loaded a second development board with a different application and a different clipboard. So in this case, I have a multicolor LED clipboard, and I have an application that is monitoring the communication on the FT channel. And if it receives a message with the right topic, it controls the LED. So I've loaded the application the same way I did the first one. So now all I have to do is connect the network together. Of course, the FT channel is polarity insensitive, so I can hook the wires either way. So there's really no way to get this wrong. There's only two wires. So I just need to screw them down. So now I've built my network. I'm going to plug in power into the second board. And as it comes up, we see some flashing lights, so we know we've got power. So now let's go back to the first board. It's been running. I'm going to push the button on it, and the LED comes on. Okay, now let's see what it takes to add visualization and analytics to our application. So here I have the switch and the multicolor LED boards that we created earlier. And I've added a third board. And on this third board, I'm using a different click board. This is the environmental click. So it has 4 sensors on it. It has temperature, humidity, pressure, and air quality sensors on one board. And I've created a simple application to publish that information on the FT channel. I've also added a Raspberry Pi. And on the Raspberry Pi, I've loaded some Node-RED software, and we'll look at that in a minute, to do our visualization and ties to analytics. I've added an adapter board that adapts from the Pi adapter to a microbus, and I've plugged in the FT Click into the microbus connector. I then wired all of these boards together in a simple star topology. So since free topology allows any sort of wiring, I chose this one just because it's easy. I have everything coming back to a central point, and these connectors are just wired together to make this one simple twisted pair. So let's turn to the PC, where here I've opened Node-RED. So here on the left, we see some nodes that are each configured for a different topic. One's the temperature topic, one's pressure, one's humidity, one's air quality. And then I take the output from those, which are the actual values reported on the channel. I do some massaging of the data, and then I take them into some user interface elements that come with Node-RED that allow me to display that data in real time. And it reports that data in a simple dashboard. So let's look at the dashboard, which is here. So this dashboard is showing that data being reported by the environmental sensor. So with just a few minutes of work, I was able to collect the data and add it to a dashboard that can report the real-time data to the user.
So Rich has just shown you how to prototype applications using the FT clickboard. The nice thing about FT is you can scale these applications to thousands of devices that are spread across buildings, campuses, and even citywide infrastructure. If you want to create more complex network solutions, FT supports popular open standard communication technologies like LawnWorks and BACnet.
Best of all, you can get started now. Come to our website to learn more about FT Click and to find out how you can implement your lawn and BACnet applications.